And we're live. Hey, everybody, welcome into the Flippin Hippos YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is Star. I am one half of a reselling partnership. Keith is my partner in life and business, and we both do this full time, and we resell on many different platforms. We have several streams of income. We have this YouTube channel, and we have a Facebook group. While we wait for some folks to come in, I'm just going to make sure that you guys can see me and hear me. So if you're out there and you can see me and you can hear me, or if you can't, let me know. I'll say hi to some people. And I see Mary is here. Hi, Mary. Figgy Flips. I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome in. I don't like to get into the show until I've been talking at you guys for a couple of minutes, just because people do kind of wander in late and the notification goes off late for some folks. Pamela's Procurements can hear and see me. Good. Beth, hello. Thrifty Space Queen. Pam, Pame. I just totally butchered your name 3 different ways to Sunday. Welcome in. Thanks for coming. Ivy. So yes, we are still planning a move. However, we have moved it to the spring of next year. We had some family obligations and some other things we have to do here to wrap up. Moving across town is a lot different than moving to a whole nother state. So now I'm going to choke on my own spit. I'm going to mute the microphone for 1 second. It didn't mute. It did not mute. And I'm hacking. Why do I have to cough? I choke on my own spit all the time, which isn't really a big deal until 2020 happened. And I'll be out like at the store. I'm behind my mask. I'll be like dying. And I'm like, oh my God, everyone is staring at me. They think I have the virus. No, I just can't seem to swallow without choking sometimes. Connie, Linda, welcome in. Bobby, Caffeinated Christie's here. Kirsty. I'm so glad I'm not alone. And it's not, I don't even have to be chewing gum or drinking or anything. I just choke on my own spit randomly all the time. And anytime you cough in public anymore, that's the look you get, right? That it's really embarrassing. And I also have really bad allergies, so I cough a lot from that too. And you feel like you have to tell people, I promise, just choking, it's not COVID. Hey, Jessica's here. Welcome in. All right, so we have a couple people in here now, and I think I'm done choking. So we're going to jump into the topic at hand. We're going to be talking about my actual routine that I do every day. And then we're going to talk about routines and schedules in general. And I'm going to kind of relate what I do to what other folks can do, even if your situation is different than mine. It is important to remember that everybody has a different family unit, different set of friends. Some have kids, some don't. We all have different pets. Some of us have special needs kids, special needs pets. Some of us are disabled. Some of us still work outside of the house. Some of us are in college. Some of us are single. Some of us are married. So we all have these completely different situations and set of circumstances that we're working within to work our businesses around to make it work. So my daily routine is perfect for me, works great for me. It may not work for you or Bob or Dave down the street, but what works for Dave may not work for Bob. And what works for you may not work for me. So that is important to keep in mind before we start talking about routines and schedules. Just everyone's situation is so different than the next person's, and we're all dealing with different circumstances. And we all have different sleep schedules too. I wouldn't really call me like a total night owl. I'm more like a second shifter. I am my most alert and active probably from like 1 p.m. until like 11 or midnight. And I have friends like Robert. You guys know Robert, Zombie Bargain Hunter. He does his best at night. He likes to be up all night long working, and then he'll sleep till noon or 1. And, oh, Bill and Dave are in the house. Guys, say hi to Gnome and the Frog there. They have the blue wrench. I was just about to use Bill and Dave as an example for the third type. They like to get up early and attack the day in the morning, and they go to bed relatively early. And when you do this full time, that is the beautiful part of this job. You can totally rearrange your entire work schedule and everything around how you work best. You no longer have to drag your butt out of bed at 6 a.m. and go work for someone if that's not your thing, if you like to sleep in. So it's important to keep in mind that everyone, has a different circadian rhythm, a different time of day where they're most active and alert, and different circumstances that we're working with. Swimmerization, glad to have missed the choking. It was just a little bit of coughing. Tried to mute the mic, didn't work. Hey, Jen, welcome in. Kelly's here, guys. Say hi to Hip Flippin' Mama. Welcome in. Hi, Kelly. So I will say up front, I was inspired for this video by Casey. You guys know the Rockstarflipper, very close friend of ours. I think someone actually asked him in his live show Thursday about his daily routine. I think that's how it came up. But then he did a video on his daily routine, which I watched yesterday, and I was inspired. And I thought, you know what? I want to do one of these too. Actually, this should be a hashtag challenge within the YouTube and the Instagram community. We should all be sharing our routines with each other. Because I feel like when we share our routines and we share our schedules and we share what works for us, somebody else out there who has similar circumstances to us, we may be able to help them. So if you have 2 small children at home and you see Megan Mawinny's schedule, she has 2 small toddlers. You might be able to say, hey, if that works for Megan, let me try it. Or if you struggle with insomnia and sleeping, you might see my schedule and be like, hey, let me try the second shift approach, and that might work for you. I love sharing my routine with you guys. I love hearing your routines, which brings me to my next point. So I watched Casey's video. If you didn't see Casey's video on his daily routine, I actually linked it down in the description box below. And after this live show or later on this week when you have time, I recommend you watching his pre-recorded YouTube with his schedule, because it's a little bit different than mine even. And again, we can all learn from each other. So I was going to do a pre-recorded video Friday for you guys and just basically go over my daily routine, kind of like Casey did in his video. But then I thought about it, and I really want people to interact and share and help each other and learn from each other and see everybody's different schedules and routines. And if we're live in the moment with each other on a live show, you guys can participate alongside in the live chat and chat with each other and help and share your stuff, and maybe we can all learn something from each other or help each other out a little bit. Now, if you're watching this later, if you're watching the replay on YouTube after it uploads, and you're not watching this live on Tuesday, October 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern, still feel free to use the comment section later down below and talk to each other and just kind of help each other out. Because I feel like sometimes some people get stuck. Like, I think I saw Swimmerization saying she has a new routine. She moved in with her elderly parents. She's taking care of her mom. And that can be a little bit of a struggle. And maybe she's having some issues dealing with that. But in the comments, someone else has a mom who's ill they're helping. And you can learn from each other. So use the comments if you're watching this in the future, but participate alongside if you're watching in the present time. Yeah, I liked Casey's video, and I've done videos before where I've talked about my bullet journals and my to-do lists and my routines. But this is just something that's you can't talk about enough, and you can't stress it enough. In order to be successful, you've got to have a routine. Behind every successful entrepreneur and every successful reseller and business person, there's a routine. The reason successful people are successful is because they have a routine, they have a schedule, they have a clear, concise way of keeping track of their to-dos, whether you have a bullet journal or you keep them in your phone. They have goal boards or they keep their goals somewhere. But every successful person has a routine and schedules that they stick to without fail. And they have a way of keeping track of their goals, their progress, where they're falling short so that they can fix whatever's going on there to make it not fall short, and their to-do lists and all their goals. And I say, keep track of all the goals that you attain. Tick off or scratch out all your to-dos that you achieve, but keep track of where you're falling short too. Later on this week, I have a video coming out for you guys where I talk about setting realistic goals and setting listing goals. I have a couple videos coming out so make sure you're subscribed and you hit the bell so you're notified when it comes out. But I'm going to go into a lot more detail later this week about setting attainable goals and not coming up short all the time and feeling defeated. But it is important to see where you're succeeding and where you're not succeeding, because maybe the reason one of your to-dos every single day isn't getting done is because of what time you're trying to do it, or when you're trying to do it, or how you're trying to do it, or how many you're trying to do. So if your goal is to list 10 items a day and you're doing it in the morning around kids getting ready for school, that might be why. Maybe you're not focused. Maybe you need to do it after they leave. So I always feel like it's good to keep track of everything. But you're always behind every successful person. Again, you are going to find a person who is organized and has clear, concise routines that they follow through with every single day, regardless of how they feel. And that's not just within reselling. Look at anyone who reaches a weight loss goal or a fitness goal. They get up and they go to the gym, or they get up and they run every morning, even when they don't feel like it. Even when they feel like crap, they get up and they exercise because they're working towards a goal. They want to lose that weight. They want to become fit. So they can't just not do it one day because they don't feel like it. It's the same with your reselling business. You have to make yourself do the things you need to do every day to be a successful person. So let's say hi to some people and catch up on the chat, and then we'll talk about my daily schedule. Wow. Okay. I'm way behind. Jessica, I've seen his lights in person the last time we were down there. They're pretty cool, but they're way too bright. They get in my face. But that doesn't mean I won't ever buy them because they are pretty cool. You can control them with this computer. Donna's here. Welcome in. I love the routine and planning videos. Yeah, these are like some of my most popular videos, Mary. And it's one of my things I'm very passionate about. One of the ways I control my obsessive compulsive disorder and my anxiety is by being a very organized person with lots of lists. It helps to calm that anxious feeling. It makes me feel like I'm in control of my life and in control of what's going on around me. It's hard when there's a wrench thrown in or something happens out of my control and I have to get out of that routine for whatever reason. It really throws me off and I get very anxious. But when things are going right and life is not throwing me random things to deal with, I like being organized. I love bullet journals. I love stationery. I love organizing. I love lists. I'm passionate about talking about it with other people. I like to help other people quell their own inner anxieties over, because this is overwhelming. If you just like look at the reselling business, it's overwhelming. We have piles of used items in our homes and they have to go from being a pile to being shipped eventually, and all the steps in between. There's just a lot and it can be overwhelming. And if you don't break it down into really small chunks and tasks, it can be a lot. Oh, wow. Now you're in a busy post office. Yeah, ours is tiny. I don't know what I'm going to do because it's going to be a bigger one when we move. I know it is because this is just small. How do I stay motivated when sales are slow? I have routines, I have schedules, and I have to-do lists that I do every single day. It's not necessarily so much staying motivated as going through the motions. So when I'm selling 2 things a day during a slow time versus 20 items a day during peak Q4, I'm doing the same things every single day. I'm doing the same amount of work. I'm working through those to-do lists. I'm going through that schedule. Sometimes it's not about staying motivated. It's just about being trained and conditioned. And you have to condition yourself and you have to train yourself to get into a routine that you're going to follow every day, whether it's raining outside or sunshine, whether you're having slow sales or fast sales. You have to train yourself to follow these routines almost on autopilot, so that even when you're not motivated, you will do the things. You will do the things. So yeah, I'm not always motivated. I'm not going to tell you guys I'm motivated today. I wasn't motivated. I'm not motivated every day. I wake up sometimes and to returns and nasty messages and I want to quit. I have my days too, guys, but I still do what I need to do, even when I'm not motivated, because I'm conditioned. And it does take about 30 days to create a new habit. So you have to decide, this is what I'm going to list 10 items every single day after lunch. That's an example. But if that's something you decide, you may have to force yourself literally to do it for 30 whole days before it's conditioned and becomes a habit and becomes something that you're going to do regardless of whatever else is going on around you. It's the same with anything. Any habit you want to create, if you want to, start a new skincare regimen or go to the gym and work out, or, I'm going to start making my bed every morning. You have to force yourself to do things at first until they become part of your routine and your autopilot. So Ivy, you have to actually do the stuff on the list. You can't just make the lists. You have to do the stuff on the list. So you need to get up every morning and work your way through it. And you have to force yourself, like I said, until it's part of your routines. And Pamela says she's good at making lists, but as the day goes, she's not able to get done what her mind thinks she can do. Well, that's part of the setting attainable goals. You have to set a schedule and goals for yourself that you're going to be able to obtain day after day. You can't be lofty. When I'm feeling down about sales and the amount to be listed, I look through my CA camera roll and I remember all the items I have sold. Hey, that's a good idea. A lot of people love to shop but don't like listing. And that's just part of it. Thrifting is fun. Shopping is fun. Listing is tedious. So I do social media first thing in my day, personally. But that too is about self-discipline and conditioning and routines. If you allow yourself 15 minutes in the morning to catch up on your social media before you get moving, stop at 15 minutes. And if you have to set a timer, guess what? There is no shame in that. If you have to set timers to keep yourself on track, if you have to set a timer to remind yourself to come back to work after lunch, if you have to set a timer to show yourself how much you can walk on your lunch break before you have to walk back home to work, if you can't pull yourself off of social media and you need to set a timer, that's okay. You don't need to make apologies to anybody. You're here for yourself. This is your business and your business needs to thrive and you need to do whatever you need to do to make your business thrive. So if you need to set timers, I set timers all the time. They keep you on track and they remind you when to quit something. I especially suggest timers to folks who have a hard time with how much time they spend on social media. Spontaneous people do have a hard time with lists and schedules and routines. They do. I'm not going to say they don't. So the most important thing, Stacy Ray says, I seem to procrastinate about posting new items, but I love to ship. The most important thing for your business is to keep listing. The active store is a happy store. The more you list, the more you sell. The more items you have listed, the more you're going to sell. So at the end of the day, the most important thing you can do for your store is list. Of course, that ties in with you have to go sourcing as well. But the listing is the most important, and you cannot lose sight of that. I did a video, I think it was 2 weeks ago now, maybe 3 weeks ago, the 4 things or 5 things you need to do every single day when it comes to eBay to be successful, and listings on there. You have to list every day. Let me see. Just starting a planner. Hey, you know what? Being 10% good at your planner is better than nothing, Liz. You could have a little notebook like I have and just be scratching notes in there at night about what you want to do tomorrow. And that's better than nothing. It's better than nothing at all. I wish I could get that as far as a week and then give in. Oh, let me see what that was response to. I'm not Figgy Flips wants to know what I did to hold off shopping. So are we talking about the 5 months we didn't shop from October of 2019 through February of 2020? Is that 5 months when we just stopped to get through all of our death piles? We had enough stuff around here, and the overwhelming need inside of me to get rid of the death piles and the anxiety they were causing me and the I don't wannas overwhelmed my need and my FOMO, first of all, fear of missing out, and my need to go shopping. I wanted that stuff gone. Then in retrospect, I regretted it because then we had the shutdown and we didn't have any inventory. But it's just the way that my mind works, and the anxiety and the OCD that I have. The overwhelming need to get rid of that stuff overpowered the need to go shopping. And now we order so many wholesale lots that get delivered right to our door, and we don't have to go out at all. I don't need to. I don't want to. I don't need to. We'll highlight that one. I'm just different than most people. The thrill of finding the treasures, the treasure hunt, the sourcing is fun, but it's also tedious to me. Standing for too long hurts my back. And I am definitely, and I've admitted this to you guys before, I am definitely very reclusive and a hermit. So if you tell me I can order wholesale stuff and have it delivered right to my door and never have to go out to the store, never have to go shopping, or very rarely go. We do have to go this weekend. I need some more plush. But that makes me happy. I don't really particularly like going out there. And even more so now that I have to wear a mask, that causes anxiety. And I will wear it because you have to wear it to get in the building. But I'd rather not. So I'd rather just order stuff and not go shopping. 2020 has been a very different kind of year, though. We used to go thrifting a lot more. We used to go to stores a lot more. So Sue's pile of shame. I used to get stuck on social media. Now I set the start time at 9 a.m. Very good idea. Start times are good. List making is an effort, but once you get into it, so just like any other habit or any other routine you're going to create, if the last thing you do before bed every night or the first thing you do every morning, whichever one works for you, again, everyone's different. Some people like to make it the night before so they know what they're getting in, they can plan, this is what I'm doing tomorrow. Some people like to get up and have coffee and make their list. Some people like to have one running list that works all the time, or a different one for each day or whatever. But once you get into that habit of making your list and knowing what you're going to do, that becomes part of your routine. Pam A, I routine every morning while drinking my coffee. I go through my eBay store to set sales, respond to questions. Yep. and then sell similar. Yep. Listening to me is like homework. Think about it as homework that pays. Because if you don't list, you're not going to make any money, right? Yeah, for people who do this as a hobby or a part-time job, it is different. If Keith and I don't list every day, if we don't have our multiple streams of income, we're not going to be living the lifestyle that we like to live. So we have to. I just wear a baseball. Yeah, it's a little bit more than that with me. It causes anxiety about breathing and stuff. So I'd rather just stay home. But even before the shutdown and everything, I was a reclusive hermit. I like working from home. I like people and I like social situations, but in small doses. And I just don't get excited about thrifting anymore. I don't. And maybe it's because of the area we live in. We just keep finding the same bread and butter brands over and over and over again. Nothing too new or exciting anymore. But when I order wholesale boxes from other states, I get new to me brands. I learn things. I just really like getting wholesale. But that's just me. Some people really like to source. So, my daily routine. I'm going to go through this as quickly as I can. This is a basic skeleton schedule, by the way, I should add. This is my basic skeleton to-dos that I do every day. But within this, each day is a little bit different just because, on Wednesdays we go grocery shopping. You don't know that, but now you do. We go shopping on Wednesdays. And sometimes we'll treat ourselves out for a nice coffee or something while we're out getting groceries. Sometimes we go out to lunch. So then Fridays, you guys do know, I've told you guys, we take half a day. So we only work until like 4:00 on Fridays. And then we run any errands we need to run. And then at 5:00, we're worrying about getting takeout and what movie we're going to watch. And we take the evening off together. So this is, my skeleton schedule. I try to do these things in this order every day. But if I'm having a big day, a day of filming, sometimes I'll film 4 or 5 videos ahead of time for YouTube in one day. And sometimes I film 1 a day throughout the week. And then you got grocery shopping. And then if we were to start sourcing again and going out, of course, that would have to be incorporated. But basically, I like to sleep in. I'm a night owl. 2, I don't like to go to bed early. I don't go to bed until like midnight or 1. And if I'm tired, I may be asleep by 2. But I suffer from insomnia as well, and I don't like to take my sleeping pills. So I do have help. I have talked to a doctor. I have sleeping pills. Every time I mention my insomnia, those well-intentioned of you always send me tons of advice and things I can try. I've struggled with it for over 20 years. So I do have help. I have talked to my doctor. I just don't like to take them because I sleep so soundly. I get scared that something could happen and I wouldn't know. So what I normally do is just lay in the bed and read a book until I finally fall asleep. So it's usually around 2 or 3 when I can finally fall asleep. Sometimes, like last night, it was like 4. But I still try to get up around 9 or 10. So even if I'm up most of the night, the latest I like to let myself sleep is like 10. 10. I don't know why I said 11. So the first thing I do when I wake up, even before I leave the bed, I catch up on social media. It's the first thing I do in the morning, on my phone, in the bed, while I'm waking up. I don't have to move around yet. And I just really quickly check my messages on Facebook, my emails. I check and see if any offers on eBay came in overnight or Poshmark, and I can accept them or counter. I check the Facebook group and make sure no one's tagged me, make sure everybody's in there is getting their questions answered. And I basically spend about 15 to 30 minutes, depending on how much stuff there is. If I have a morning where I wake up to 15 emails, 10 offers, 3 questions on eBay, it can be 30 minutes. And some mornings I'm through it in 5 or 10 minutes because I don't have that much. But whenever the social media, messages. I call it social media time, but I actually check for offers and stuff that came in overnight. Once that's done, 15 to 30 minutes, then I'll actually get out of bed. And this is my wake up time. So when I get out of bed, I call it wake up time because I'm waking up and I'm going to wake up my eBay store and I'm going to wake up my Posh Closet. So this is when I get a cup of coffee and I sit at the computer still in my pajamas and I bulk send out offers to watchers on eBay, and I go to Poshmark and any new likes that came in since the last time we shared, which would have been the night before. I send out offers to likers. Then I end any listings that are going to end within the next 24 hours. I go to the unsolds. I sell similar, usually in bulk, just boom, 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 lower the prices by like 5%. Sometimes I'll kind of go down the list before I bulk sell similar and just kind of eyeball to see if there's any item that maybe needs to be done individually, like a title tweaked, the pictures need tweaked. If I have days sometimes where I have 75 things that are going to end within the next 24 hours that I manually end, I'm definitely going to be doing bulk that day. But some days there's only like 5 items and maybe then I'll do each one individually and just double check stuff. But this is what I call the wake up time because I'm waking up and I'm waking up the algorithm on eBay and the algorithm on Poshmark by sending out the offers. On eBay, of course, ending and selling similar wakes Cassini up. Tells her, good morning, hello, I'm listing. Because she thinks that you're listing new items when you do that, by the way, if you sell similar. So she thinks you're listing new items. She thinks your store is being active and you're getting a boost first thing when you wake up. And then Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I do refresh our store. I have a video on that. You can search the channel for it or let me know if you need the link on how to refresh your store. But I do that 3 days a week. Fridays, I reset our sales for the week. So I set them up all at once for the whole week. I just copy the sales that are already there. So I'm not actually setting up sales. I'm just copy. I've set them up one time and then I copy them. And if I'm going to end promoted and reboot the promoted listings, that'll be on Friday as well. And that's what I call wake up time. When that's done, we pull the items that sold for shipping. We get all of those ready and labels stuck on. We get all the items pulled, labels on. I take the photo that you guys see on Instagram every day. And I take the photo of our bulk scan sheet because our postal guy is so cool. He doesn't make me print it. He just scans it right off my phone. When our shipping's ready in a bag, ready to go by the front door, that is when I actually take my shower and get ready for the day. So I do all my waking up and shipping first. Then I take my shower. And quite honestly, folks, if I'm not going to be filming any YouTube videos that day or going anywhere other than the post office, I don't wear makeup and I don't really do anything with my hair but a wet ponytail right out of the shower. If I'm planning on going somewhere or filming, you get this. But otherwise, I'm a hideous troll with a big, wet, nasty bun on top of my head and no makeup. And we will, after I take my shower, well, I should say while I'm taking my shower, Keith is doing his photos for the day. You guys are probably going to be like, well, what's Keith doing? So during wake up time, Keith is sharing Poshmark. He shares Poshmark every morning. I used to do it. Guys, there is 2 of us. To be fair, we do split this job. But when Keith worked outside of the house, I did all of this by myself, except for what he was listing on his own in addition to mine. But he does share Poshmark and works on listing on Shopify, the separate wholesale business that we run with Casey. People send in stuff all the time through the email to get listed. So he does that and shares Posh while I do the wake up. And then he does his photos while I shower and get ready. We go to the post office. We come home. I deal with social media a second time while he's showering because I typically will then check YouTube comments and kind of do more emails at that time. And then we break and we eat lunch together. And then we both list and crosspost. We each have things that we're in charge of. If you're curious, real quick side note, I do jeans and plush. And he pretty much does everything else. I used to do all the women's tops and stuff. But since he's home full time, he pretty much just lists anything that isn't jeans or plush. That's what I do. And then I cross post to Macari, Poshmark, and he takes care of our Amazon and our Grailed. And after I list, he lists double the amount I do because I do a lot more social media and the YouTube. So he uses his extra time to double list. I use my extra time to make videos and social media. I was trying to read the comments and talk. You can't read and talk at the same time, by the way. So after I list what I list, which is usually 10 to 15 new items a day on eBay, and then I cross post 5 to 10 to Boxery and 10 to 15 to Poshmark. Then I do my photos. So I do it backwards. I list first, like right after lunch, and then I take my photos. But long ago and far away, years ago, I decided that was how I wanted to do it. I don't know why, but it works for me, and it's now my routine. And if I try to do photos before listing, I freak out because it's not my routine. It's built in me. I've been doing it for like 2 years now, 3 years, whatever, however long it's been this way. So a long time ago, years ago, I spent like a Sunday taking extra photos and loading them into my computer. And then that way Monday I could list from those. And then whatever I took Monday, I'm listing on Tuesday, so on and so forth. I also try to have a handful of extra photos on my computer at all times for emergencies. And I think that's probably why I started doing it in this order, because to me, listing is the most important thing you can do every day. You have to list every single day. You must be listing. You must be active. So to me, I want to get listings done first, and then I'll worry about photos. And if I have to run errands, or if something comes up, or I have to deal with something, or an emergency happens and I don't get to photos that day, it's okay because I've already listed. So I can do extra photos over the weekend to make up if I have a day where I can't do photos. And then I just always keep extra ones in there for that reason. Usually by this time, it's time for dinner. We gather together in the kitchen. We cook. We eat. After we eat, we go for a walk every night, guys. Believe it or not. Pretty soon it might be too cold, or it might be icy or something here. But we do go for a walk every night. As I say, as tolerated. That's what my pain specialist doctor for my back says, as tolerated. So there's days where I can walk a mile, and there's days where I can walk half a mile. Just depends on my back. But we do go for a walk each night, and then we come home and we do our housework and our chores at that time. The dishes. We have our housework and chores broken up into small chunks where we do a little bit each day. I've learned that from the Fly Lady. If you're not familiar with her, please do yourself the second biggest favor you'll ever do in your life, and look up Fly Lady. She teaches you also how to do routines and schedules, and how to get rid of clutter out of your house, and how to organize a schedule so that you can spend 10 to 15 minutes a day cleaning, and that's it. You know, most people have one day a week where they're miserable and they're spending the entire day cleaning their house top to bottom. On Fly Lady's system, you break it down to like 10 to 15 minute chunks that you do one thing a day. Your house always looks clean. It's always decluttered. It always looks ready for company, but you're only cleaning for 10 or 15 minutes a day. It's a wonderful system. I absolutely love her. In fact, my bullet journal is part Fly Lady. I forget what she even calls her daily thing, but she encourages something that's very similar to a bullet journal. And I said she's going to be the second biggest favor you ever did for yourself. The first one's going to be looking up Dave Ramsey. All right. So we get home from our our evening walk after dinner. do the dishes, whatever chores we have to do. Then it's the evening time. That's when I will do YouTube. If I have any editing to do or I haven't put a video out yet that day, I'll put one out. Sometimes I schedule them ahead of time so that they come out at different times during the day. And then it's evening, and Casey called it research and development in his video, and I like that, so I stole it. Casey, I stole it. Research and development time, and that's exactly what the evening is around here. Keith is typically online looking at auctions and wholesale. He's discovering new ways to purchase, new places to purchase from. I'm typically working on a guide, which never seems to get done, that stupid jeans guide. I'm still working on it because I never have time. But there's always something to be done around here as far as a project or some side work, whether it's going on the back. I've actually been spending a week already on the back end of YouTube on my older videos, making sure they're in the proper playlist so that new subscribers to the channel can go to a playlist and actually have videos there that are going to make sense, or enough videos there to choose from them to watch the one they need to learn from. But things like that, like going back through old videos, cleaning up social media, editing videos, looking for new places to buy stuff online, maybe learning about a new platform, maybe learning a new type of item to sell. Or I spend a lot of my evenings in my research and development actually doing research and taking notes for videos for the next day that I want to record or whatever. And then I do social media throughout the day. So it's the first thing in the morning, and then it's every 2 to 3 hours. I try to take a 10 to 15 minute break and check Facebook and Instagram and YouTube comments and stay on top of them, and emails. And then I check them very end of night, and I get my makeup off if I wore it that day, even, because half the time, like I said, I look like a troll under the bridge. And once I have my makeup off and I'm in my pajamas and I'm comfortable, I have my me time. And I cannot express to you guys how important me time is. You've got to have some time for yourself every single day, even if you can only grab 15 minutes at the end of the day. I know, again, like all of our situations are different, and some of you are doing this in addition to a full-time job, and you have kids, and you're like, what the hell is me time, Star? You're nuts. I can't find it. You can go to bed 10 minutes earlier and scroll through Facebook for 10 minutes if that's what you like to do. You could go to bed 10 minutes earlier and read a chapter. You could go to bed 20 minutes earlier and watch one episode of a show that you enjoy watching. But you've got to make that time for yourself. You cannot spend your entire day working and giving of yourself to others and not give back to yourself. It is super important that you are giving back to yourself. You have to nurture your own interests, your own comforts, your own soul. You have to have downtime to decompress. You have to have something in your life for just you that you enjoy. Not saying you have to do it alone. I like playing World of Warcraft, and I set aside time every Friday night to play. I play with Casey and Keith and Jamie, but it's for me. I don't play for them. It's not like I don't enjoy it. Oh, I gotta go play a WoW. No, it's for me. I set aside time to play that. So if your thing is movies, you can watch them with your family. That's great. But make sure you're incorporating one movie at least on the weekend into your life. But it is important at the end of each day, you could give yourself a little bit of time. Look through some memes, read a chapter, watch an episode. You've got to do that to recharge yourself. If you just keep giving of yourself to the rest of the world all of the time, you're going to run out of battery. You're just going to run out of battery, and you're not going to have anything left to give. So I do encourage the me time. And for me, like I said, it's usually just reading in bed until I fall asleep. And sometimes I try to watch a show at night. I usually try to save a lot of my shows and movies for the weekends, though. I like to just read throughout the week because I'm an avid reader. I am a bookworm. And literally, if you told me I could waste an entire day, I wouldn't binge Netflix or anything, I would lay on the couch and read all day. So that's my thing. But let me catch up on the comments, and then I'm going to talk to you briefly about like how you can implement this into your life. Dave does the shipping by 8 a.m. and Bill puts the inspiration message on social media, sends out offers to watchers. Yeah, Bill and Dave actually work really well together. I love to hear their schedule. Bill and David are a lot like me and Keith. They each have their own things they do for the business, and they have a routine that works well together but apart, so you don't get tired of each other. But we do shipping together, but that's because of my back. I guess I could make him do it all by himself the way Dave does, but I don't think Keith folds clothes right. I hate the way he folds clothes drives me absolutely insane. So I have to have my hands on the shipping, but I need help because of my back. So Scott Bowser asks, do you find it more profitable to thrift locally or buy from places like ThredUp? It actually really just depends on what I find locally. Because sometimes I'll go in and find really great stuff. And sometimes I get a box of poop from ThredUp. And then sometimes I get a box from ThredUp with really amazing stuff in it. Overall, I would have to say the wholesale lots that we've been buying since the shutdown have been the most profitable, but they weren't blind buys. We're buying out other resellers who want to get out of clothing for whatever reasons, whatever else they're doing. And we see manifests and we see pictures, so we know what we're getting into, but we're getting better items than we can find here locally for sure. But that also is going to depend on your area. Some people have amazing stuff in their area. Ivy says, I also have insomnia and I refuse to take pills. I have 3 to 4 hours a day. Yeah, and then you go like on 3 to 4 hours a day, Ivy, for like months, and then it hits you, and then you're like sleeping for 16 hours, right? I will take pills sometimes if I'm just exhausted and I'm so tired of being tired, but they're not my go-to and they're not my favorite. And the ones that actually do work for me after years and years and years of trial and error with the doctor, not Ambien. I did Ambien a couple of times. And one time I know I did it. They said I did it. I got up in the middle of the night and I drove the car somewhere and I had no memory of it. And then another time I was just standing in front of the refrigerator eating food. Like just eating food, standing in front of the fridge, which isn't that bad, but that's not healthy in the middle of the night. But the driving of the car really freaked me out. So it's not Ambien, it's something else. But it puts me to sleep so soundly that it's just terrifying. Like I feel like somebody could break in the house and kill me and I wouldn't even know. Or there could be a fire, So Jacqueline, I love reading books. Hey, I love reading books too. It's one of my favorite things. When you bulk edit, does eBay charge fees? So when you edit, no. If you're ending the listings and selling similar, yes, you're going to pay. You're either going to pay per listing, whatever you pay per listing based on the store subscription you have, or if you have listings left in your allotted amount, it'll take it out of there. However, if they're going to roll over on their own, the same thing's going to happen. So even if you don't touch them and you allow them to roll over on their own, you're still going to get, they're going to subtract from your total, or they're going to charge you. And then they're going to be stale listings that are pushed down in the algorithm. That's why it's good to end and sell similar. They're new listings and you're going to get charged anyway. But if you're just editing, Jacqueline, no, you do not get charged. Stark Raven Wild says, I do drafts first and then take the photos. A lot of folks do that, but I like to just have like a bunch of photos on my computer and then just list from that every day, first in, first out. Christian, he came in at 7:36. You were late, young man. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome in, Christian. Thanks for coming. Everybody's like Dave Ramsey and fangirling. He is the best. Guys, just so you know, Mary McQueen was on the Dave Ramsey show. She was featured and she got to do the debt-free scream, and she gave me a shout out during her time on the air with Dave. So that was really super cool. I watched the video that day. It was amazing. Dave Ramsey is a national treasure. Yes, he is. And Fly Lady is going to be the second best thing you've ever done for yourself. Between Dave and Fly Lady, you can get your entire life straightened out. You can fix everything. You can have your budgeting fixed, your money fixed, your savings fixed. You'll have your house organized. You'll have gotten rid of the clutter. You'll have a clean home. You'll feel less stressed, because overall, what stresses people out the most in life, other money and bills and overwhelming chaos and clutter in your home. And between the two of them, you can get your life together. You can be living your best life. I really like both of them. Sue went to bed, probably didn't catch her in time, but good night, Sue. Do you work the weekends or not? So yes and no. We take half days on Friday, and we used to go out to dinner, but we kind of just order in takeout now, since 2020 is the year of the poop. And we watch a movie, and then we'll play WoW together. Sometimes we just do movie marathons or show marathons. Sometimes we take a break from WoW. Saturdays we work. We typically try to put in like a full day of work on Saturday, but we try to take off a little bit earlier than normal. So it's not like a taking off at 3 or 4 like we do on Friday, but we'll quit around dinner time and then have our evening to do whatever. We'll either play WoW together, or he'll play WoW with Casey and I'll watch movies. So we do try to put in Saturday. We try to do all the things we don't have time during the week. We try to do like the organizational stuff, going through the inventory, cleaning out the eBay room, just all the stuff we never get to during the week. Sometimes I'll sit down and work on a guide or something. Saturday's like our catch-up day if we didn't get extra pictures through the week or quite the amount of listings we wanted. Any kind of projects we're doing that we don't have time for. Sundays, we used to get up Sundays and thrift because that was 99-cent day. We're not really doing that, but we are going this weekend because I am out of Plush and I'm going out of my mind because I don't have any friends. I don't have any new friends to photograph and put on eBay. Hey, Esmeralda, welcome in, guys. Semper Apparatus there. That's Esmeralda Valagay. You guys probably know her. She's are you popular, famous? Everyone knows her in the reselling community. So Sundays we used to go thrifting, and then after thrifting we would put in like 2 hours of work and then quit early to go spend time with Keith's family. So it would be like get up early, do the wake up stuff. Oh, that wake up stuff I talked about that I do every single morning, that is 7 days a week. 7 days a week before I get in the shower, I do the offers and the ending and selling similar. So we would go to the Goodwill, we would come home, we would steam all the plush and the new tags. We leave all the other stuff in the car until it's time to wash it. Lice all the shoes and all that good stuff. And then we would sit down and list or, do a little bit of a project. And then we would go to his grandparents' house and spend the afternoon there. And we have dinner and we drink beer. It's like our relaxing day. We all have like 2 or 3 beers and we have, a nice meal and we spend time with them. And then we come home in the evening and just share Posh. And then that's pretty much it. If we have something on Monday, we know ahead of time that we have to do. Like sometimes I can't get out of doctor's appointments or physical therapy. I can't get it like on any other day. We'll pull our shipping and do it Sunday night just so that we're prepared Monday to wake up and only do the couple things that sold overnight and not like overwhelmed and trying to hit an appointment. That was a very long-winded answer to your question, but it's yes and no. I mean, sometimes his grandparents will call us Saturday and say, hey, an old friend of ours wants to go out to dinner tomorrow, so we're going to have to cancel. Because it's like a standing date. We go over there every Sunday. But sometimes they go out with their friends, so we'll turn it into a work day. So, yeah, we work on the weekends. We do, but we don't put in a full day. And you know what I realized? I left off my schedule, you guys. We do share Posh every night. So Keith shares it in the morning to wake it up. Not the whole thing. We have so much stuff on there now. It's so big now. He shares like half. And then in the evening, we share half. And we alternate days. So we take turns. It's always his job in the morning. But Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday are his evenings to share it. And then Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday are mine. We don't share Posh on Friday nights. Colleen says I do that too. Yeah, so if you know ahead of time you're going to have something to do on Monday, you can pull your stuff Sunday night and get it done ahead of time so you're not like getting up extra early or stressing yourself out. But also if you kind of know you're just going to be at home one day, take your Sunday evening for yourself. Take a bubble bath. Watch a movie. All right, so how can you guys implement this into your lives? Well, I do recommend the wake up thing for everybody. If you can't do it first thing in the morning, if you have a baby, you have to get up and bottle or breastfeed. If you've got kids, you've got to get breakfast and get them on the bus. If you have a full-time job outside of the home and you got to be out the door at 7 in the morning, you know, obviously you're not going to be able to do those wake up things first thing in the morning, but just pick a time of the day that you can do them and do them every day consistently at that time. And that way, when you're ending the items that are going to end within the next 24 hours to bulk sell similar, you're sticking to the same time every single day. So I would recommend it first thing in the morning, but again, that's not for everybody. You may have busy mornings. You may be a PTA mom. I don't know what you're doing, but pick a time every day and do that. That is the most important thing you're going to do every single day other than listing. You need to catch up on your social media, and that includes answering questions from buyers on eBay and Poshmark. You need to do that wake up stuff, the offers, the ending, the selling similar. You need to do your shipping. So pick a time that works for you. You can implement your lunch break in however you need to. If you work outside of the home, you don't need to implement a lunch break. But if you do, work at home all day, pick a time for your lunch. Go to lunch, set a timer. Don't get carried away. Don't watch the entire 6th season of Schitt's Creek because it just dropped on your lunch break. Watch one episode and go back to work. And then set a time to list, crosspost, and do your photos, and do it every day. Just pick a time to do these things and do them every day. If you haven't seen the video I did, and you're watching this later and not live, I'll have it pop up at the end. Here, wherever it pops up. The 4 things you have to do every day to be successful on eBay. But it's basically shipping, listing, offers, and taking photography. If you can work those 4 things into your schedule every day, you're golden. Of course, you have to go sourcing. So you have to figure out whether you want to order wholesale or if you want to go sourcing specific days of the week when stores around you have sales. And I recommend that. Find out, does your Salvo have half off Wednesday? Does your Goodwill have 99-cent Sunday? Or half off tags throughout the week, and Monday's the first day that they're half off. You want to be there Monday because it's the first day they're half off. You want first pick. But figure out when the sales are, work that into your schedule. And then always try to set some time aside to work on your social media every day. If you want to build a social media following, it's super important that you're on Instagram every single day, liking, following, sharing, commenting, interacting. Instagram's a really great platform to sell items on as well, so you can be putting stuff on there for that. And then you want to do research and development every day, learn something new, work on your projects, and don't forget at least, 10 minutes minimum. More likely 30 minutes at the end of your day should be me time so that you're recharging your batteries. So our Posh Closet is not selling what it should be, Colleen, because we're not doing what we should be. I think I talked about that in last week's, was it last week? Whatever I did the what sold on Poshmark in September. I'm trying to look it up. We're sharing half of the closet in the morning and half of the closet at night because it's gotten so big. There's so much stuff in it that we just can't share the entire thing. It would take an hour and a half. So we're trying to do like half and half, and we're not doing it 3 times a day. I mean, ideally, if you have a small enough closet, you can be sharing it 3 times a day, and the last time during a party at the end of the day. 1,106 available listings. 1,106, and there's 2,152 in there. Most of those are probably marked as not sold from eBay, though. So we're sharing like 500 in the morning and 500 at night, give or take. And we're cross-posting 10 new ones a day. So we're selling a couple a week. If we shared this entire closet 3 times a day and twice at the end of the day, once to the party, once to followers, I think we could like be selling a lot more, but we don't have the time for that with everything else that's on our plate. Keith just doesn't have the time for that with the Shopify and the wholesale, with Casey and with YouTube and social media. I just don't anymore. So we've kind of, please don't do this. I hate saying this to you guys because I don't want you to do this. We've been treating our Poshmark as almost a set it and forget it, kind of sharing here and there. Don't do that if you want to be successful on Poshmark. Do as I say, not as I do. Luna's getting ready to open a store on eBay for the first time. The first 200 listings are free. So yeah, wait until I just did a video on this, Luna. Let me grab it. I'm gonna grab it and link it for you, Luna, because like I literally just I think it was Friday or even Sunday. It's very recent. I just did a video on which store subscription should I get, and you just have to do the math. And that'll help you out. That'll help you decide. But remember, anything that doesn't sell rolls over. So I wouldn't wait till I had 200 listings, because then anything over that's going to cost you. Yes, the silver stuffed house, you are correct. So if you have 2 eBay accounts on the same IP address, and one account gets messed up in any kind of way where it gets suspended or in trouble with eBay, they can hit everybody on the same IP, unfortunately. Jacqueline, I would think they're called sleeves. Can anyone else answer that? I say they're sleeves, but I could be wrong. Yeah, there's so many. They tell you you're not supposed to delete your Poshmark listings. They said that at Posh Fest. They said it hurts you in the algorithm if you delete them, because they want you. I don't know what. But when anything sells on any other platform and you mark it as not as sold, it just sits there. Now, I do like to leave them there, because on the off chance that someone does a return on eBay, I can just make that listing active again and for sale on Poshmark, and I don't have to cross post it. But after the 30 days of return time on eBay, I don't know. I honestly, here again, do as I say, not as I do. But I might take one of my Saturdays where I do my projects and spend an afternoon deleting all the not for sales on my Poshmark. Shh, don't tell anybody. I'm going to totally screw myself, though, probably in the algorithm. But if I'm going to do it, I'm going to go big or go home. So if I'm going to delete stuff and screw myself in the algorithm, I'm going to delete them all. Just get rid of them all. Leave my for sales. You can't delete those. And just clean up my closet and reorganize it, because it's a mess. All right, guys, it has been a little bit over an hour, actually. So I'm going to let you guys go. If you think of anything later at all, any questions related to reselling, anything you guys need help with, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I absolutely love helping people. In fact, I was a caregiver in my past life. I took care of people for a living until I got hurt and couldn't. Helping people is what I love to do best. So, and I like teaching and I like sharing. I like the reselling community. You guys are the best. I love everybody. I'm like rainbow butterfly farts out of unicorn butts. No, you guys are great though. And I do love teaching and I do love helping people. So don't ever hesitate to ask me questions. The best way to reach me is my Facebook group. You got to join. It's called Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. It's free. It's full of really amazing people from the reselling community. It's the best reselling Facebook group, but I'm not just saying that because it's mine. I'm saying it because it's the most positive one, and everyone in there is really nice. So make sure you're in there. Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. There's usually a link down below. Go join. Go be in there. And if you have questions, tag me. That's the fastest, bestest way to get a hold of me. Otherwise, you can come back to the video. It will be available to rewatch, uploaded to YouTube on replay. It usually takes it about 10 minutes to an hour, depending on StreamYard. And you can leave a comment. Emails flippinhipposhelp@gmail.com. We're on all the socials at flippinhippos. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Yep, thank you so much for that, Better Barbie. Smash that like button, guys. Make sure you're subscribed and make sure you also hit the little bell because then you'll be notified when I put up new content. I have a ton of videos coming out this week for you guys. Lots of stuff I'm excited about sharing with you. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell. And the mentorship in the Facebook group will be on forever. So I'm going to leave that option on where people can connect with one another and help each other be accountable and be mentors. That'll be on forever. And yes, so recently I did redo a bunch of photos for, we had a lot of old jeans listings in our store, and I can tell you why they were so old because the photos were bad. I pulled them like the last month or two I've been working on that, just pulling maybe 5 a week and redoing them, and they're selling. So I do. Sometimes you need to. So anyways, guys, that's how you can get a hold of me, all the different ways. Go join the Facebook group. We can all interact in there and continue to learn from each other. Until next time, you guys, you got to go create routines, schedules, and to-do lists so that you can be productive and you can make money. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight, guys. I kept you over an hour, but you hung in there with me. You guys are absolutely the best. I love you guys. Bye. See you next time.